Massive upsets just shook the Esports World Cup. Day 2 delivered absolute chaos as half the teams were sent home, and challenger teams eliminated some of the biggest names in Call of Duty. It was an intense day of group play and the final day of it, so in this video, I'm gonna break down every single match that just made EWC much more interesting. Now, the first 4 matches are elimination matches, and the winner goes on to play the decider match for a spot in the single elimination playoffs. That'll take place on Saturday and Sunday, but today was a total of 8 matches. 8 teams got sent home today, so let's get right into it. Well, not yet, because if you haven't watched the recap of day 1, I definitely recommend it, because then this video will make a lot more sense. All right, now let's get into it. The first match of the day was in Group A, FaZe versus G2 Esports. Exceed and Capsule have something to prove this weekend, especially since Cap just got dropped from Cloud9. G2 has had a strange second half of the season, but they brought in Kenny to lead the team. FaZe came out hot in the first map of day 2.
20 seconds. That's what you need, and you are fighting individual fights right now. FaZe, they're throwing it away. Exceed in the back, or Hixie is here, has help with Capsule, but slowly G2 are bringing this one back. FaZe, they're in. 3 more seconds. Astral, he's got to fly, but Hixie shuts him out.
But in the next map, Nero closed out the game with a nice 1v2 to keep him alive.
Reads it like a book. 1 versus 2. Nero split on either side, has to take the fights up front. 24 seconds, brings it down to just him and Exceed. Would be a clutch. 1 versus 1, look for the ace, but Nero shuts him down and puts
They enter map 3 with vengeance, winning the control to take an early 2-1 lead. This is where the hunger of the amateur teams was clear. Now Fire 40 came into the hard point, dominating, mounting a comeback with their backs against the wall.
Off of Hixie's 6 spree. Fire now, he's gonna cross that skyline into this vault now. Fire looking to take over inside the P3.
Fire finished with a 1.19 series KD and became the first amateur team to eliminate Rocker in group play.
2 seconds left. Exceed bringing it down to the wire, and it's all on the shoulders of Astral. 1 versus 2, and it's not meant to be. You go to EWC, you say there's nothing to...
We locked in, we knew exactly what they were gonna do. We played them in a Toronto Ultra 10K right before champs, and we 3-0'd them.
Yes, you did.
And we played them on dealership, and they did exactly what they did then too, so you got to change it up.
In Group B, GentleMates took on Team Orchid. Now, Beans had his final chance to prove himself against the Bulldog and GentleMates, but they haven't really been that good in this tournament. GentleMates are one of the lower tier pro teams, so I was expecting a closer matchup than what it was. Orchid got off to a good start on the skyline, but got outslayed by GentleMates for the L. Another search and destroy went the way of GentleMates.
Mythic's hoping somebody gives it up. At the time, it's not going to work off. Johnny gets there, and you're caught looking the wrong way. 4 versus 2 to clutch up. Everything down to Beans.
Beans will have to pull up a 1 versus 4 to keep them in this S&D. Has found the first, but there are too many bodies, too many bullets, and GentleMates.
But Orchid managed to get a few offensive wins to steal the control. Unfortunately, Orchid could not keep up with GentleMates in hardpoint, and for the first time in a while, GentleMates come out victorious behind Lunar's 1.3 series KD.
This early rotation of P2 to go your way, so you want to take this time away, but you have to be careful.
Lunar's just trying to work everything he can here, and that is more and more time for GentleMates. This P2...
8 seconds is all you need. Late flank from Diamondcon. They're going to wait for this one, but Kismet, he just kicks things off for the kill.
And that might be it. That might be enough here. Only one player really remaining to stop them down. It's going to be Beans. Well, 7 health. They managed to jump through it. Mythics will have to overextend to get into this point. That's going to be 3 down. That's going to be 4 down. And that's going to be the tournament. GentleMates will continue moving forward. Orchid are out.
Now, following this match, Bance hinted at his retirement from Call of Duty, having competed at the highest levels for over 10 years. Shout out to Bance. I wish him the best on whatever is next for him. But speaking of retirement, we had Falcons versus Team War next. Falcons are still getting used to having Clayster on the stage with them.
Who's hyping everyone up today?
Honestly, we do it as a collective. Honestly, Clay at one point scared me because I'm so not used to him being in the comms, and he's like, everyone push or something. He screamed. I jumped out of my seat because I was like, oh my God.
But we're ready to advance in group play against Team War. Team War were put in a strange position in this tournament after losing Lins, and Falcons made short work of them.
Spread now in 2, starting to warm up the third. Was on the chopping block, does not find it. Falcons maybe came in cold in the very first hill, but since then, you are right, far too easy.
Yeah, it's just, we're not shooting back right now after Team War. TJ's feeling like he can challenge everything. Pred feels like a god on the map, I'm sure. Nifl, I'll tell you, TJ spins
with Pred dropping a 1.56 to open the day.
Something from the front, big shutdown as he tries to dive on in. Last tick of progress on the way, 3 dead, 2 real, last 1 left. Arseny's gonna let him know about it, eliminating Team War and getting a rise out of the Falcons crowd here in Riyadh.
The joy on Xnid's face was evident as he crushed the key. And Assault announced his retirement after over a decade in Call of Duty.
I mean, I guess I'll say it now. It's probably my last event playing, so it's not the best way to go out, but you know, it's time for the next chapter of life. All the fans here, now that we're out of the tournament, gonna go experience your guys' culture and enjoy Saudi. So yeah, thank you guys for being here.
Then in Group D, we had OMiT on OMiT violence. If you didn't know, P7 Esports is OMiT Brooklyn, and they've been one of the more underwhelming teams at this event. On the other hand, OMiT has looked incredible. They had a really close match against FaZe, which they very well could have won, and the winner of this game goes on to play FaZe for a spot in the single elimination bracket. I feel like it was written in the stars. P7 won the first map behind Brack's 32 kill performance.
Possible kill for the last few minutes. 15 seconds to go. You can win it here. You have to get in, but Proloot says no. 5 spree. Looking for the 6th over the top. Yuli's now in position for this, and no one gets close. P7. What an opening map.
That is a massive
But the true story of the series was Mamba. He had clutch after clutch in these S&Ds.
He has the advantage, but Mamba is just a different kind of breeded player. Doesn't matter what weapon he has for the occasion, the movement and the snap. Good enough.
RC, perfectly dealt with, but so many nades. Not a trophy to be found. Craze, huge damage over to Mamba. Left flank finds another. Damage has been dealt, and he somehow, oh my goodness. What an explosive round. P7 take the lead.
And closed it out with the disgusting 1v3.
Timing on this. The gunfight, number 1, good. The second man, Standy. The shoulders are good enough for the damage. Mamba now in the 1v1 over the top. Crosses him up! Mamba! The defuse is his. The map to OMiT. What a clutch.
The rookies are playing.
After that, the series was over. OMiT dominated the next 2 maps, and Mamba sent a clear message to FaZe, seeking revenge for yesterday's match.
Oh, for sure. We realized yesterday that we lost to ourselves, and we know we're the better team, so we're ready to show that.
All right, good luck.
Now that 4 teams have been eliminated, 4 more will have to go home in the decider matches. So every team that wins from this point on will go on to play in the playoffs on Saturday. And the first match we had was the Group A Losers Finals, Cloud9 versus 5 Fears. There's actually a pretty good storyline behind this match because Capsidal was on Cloud9 before this event, but they dropped him for Gwyn. In fact, 5 Fears wasn't even supposed to be at this tournament, and they came out in the Skyline wasting no time getting busy. Fire 40 had a 2.3. That has to be a KD record on the season. He was frying that game while Sib and Spart struggled.
Not just playing for the time, he is released from his shackles and he's playing well. Fire now, 6 in a row. You need a break. You need a break fast. You can win at old. Spawning so far away. Hixie looking to call game. Nobody's going to read it. Originally, Quinn still gets the turn on, but is it going to be enough? Capsule next up. You're going to make it really difficult for you to even touch that hard point. And it looks
the dealership was much closer, but 5 Fears managed to steal that as well.
A little bit of a love tap there. Sib has to stay down. Don't think that one where they wanted to, and Fire will get that kill. Capsule dives in as well, gets Gwyn. And oh my goodness, it's falling apart. Fire finds another one as well. Krem now in a 1 versus 3. Fire on his spree, and this could be everything. He's just spinning bullets everywhere, panicking and falling.
Sib had a much needed bounce back game in the control, and C9 was playing like their jobs were on the line. Another competitive hardpoint favored 5 Fears at the beginning, but like I said, C9 had all the pressure on their shoulders, and they kicked it into high gear when they started losing in the hardpoint.
Hixie, he goes down, the team goes down, and our night gets a little bit longer.
And Cloud9 seconds away. Fire will dive for the front, but it is not going to be enough.
But unfortunately, Capsidol had different plans, and their former SMG knocked them out of the tournament. I bet that felt great for Capsidol, and he said last week, first time playing since Major 4 and qualified for the bracket. GG's to Cloud9.
Now or never. It's going to be a bang out. Sim's going to strike first. He gets 2, but hits.
But the next map was GentleMates versus 100 Thieves, and you could have probably guessed how this one was going to go. But before the match started, there was some drama yesterday between Ghosty and Neptune, and he kind of explained what happened between them.
I saw some clips out there, you and Neptune going back and forth, okay? There was a lot being said there. You know, what happened in that situation?
Honestly, there was a lot of snaking, a lot of stair glitching, a lot of GAs being broke, not just on the clip that I tweeted, but maps 1 through 5, lots of staking, lots of it. And I was just tired of it.
I expected this series to be domination from 100 Thieves, and it was, because the map 1, they were leading by 100, the map got reset, and then they led by 100 again. And in the S&D, it was no different. Thieves were in sync and closed the game with the fastest round of S&D I've ever seen.
GentleMates kind of all at sea here. We've got to try and find something in this 8-8 because B-Boy is shooting lasers, and the only man who drops scrap is
Just when I thought the full sweep was coming, I even stopped watching the match. GentleMates pulled off an incredible reverse sweep with Johnny dropping a 40 bomb.
Pressure play onto their spawn. Kismet finessing after his first kill. Johnny up and over, catches Ghosty, and this could be how GentleMates close out map number 3.
Yeah, they just can't get a read here,
Lunars will
Thieves.
drop.
They're really
Scrap finds a freebie onto Johnny. On the zone they go. Ghosty finds one more. It's just down to DiamondCon up top. Semtex gets tossed his direction, but DiamondCon finds a second. Envoy still alive on the zone. He's working this alongside Hydra. Can they find the kills that they need? No, almost, but not quite.
They had their moment of glory, but there was essentially no hope for them in the hard points. I mean, really the only thing I have to say is get Kismet some help, man. Hydra also had some words about playing Optic in the quarterfinals tomorrow. I'm genuinely so excited for this matchup.
I think Shotzi, sorry, just put and Kylo and Nuke, just put a lot of pressure on the map and just makes Dashi and Mercules just plays like slow kind of, but obviously with the flow it's like perfect. I think they just play good.
So
just have a good flow.
Is it safe to say the key is going to be you and Envoy's performance in that series?
No, it's all of us, for all of us.
But before we get there, we had 2 more matches to close out the day. And the first one was Boston Breach versus the home team, Falcons. Now, Falcons had a solid warm-up against Team War, but the real challenge was right in front of them. The first map did not disappoint. Falcons have struggled to find their footing in hardpoint, but they started strong, leading by 50 points. Then Boston managed to string a few hills together near the end.
Throws maybe a shoulder a bit too wide. Not able to get it as well. Arseny's coming in to help out his teammate. Great teamwork there from the Falcons. And they will have numbers moving over to this next point.
It's all on Purge. He's got to find this first fight and does not. Arseny's with it and give his boys a rotation to 1.
And here we go.
But RC's made a game-changing play to win the map.
Compose yourself. If you are the Falcons, you need to set up this hit. TJ will find yourself the first. Arcity changes angle, gives up the window hold, dives the point instead. Manages to get himself down and hunkered in then. So Awakening's got to fly. He's got to send. You've also got Purge coming in from above. Boys are going to be here in numbers. TJ Haley does enough to get the final kill.
Now, I'm not sure what happened to TJ today during these S&Ds, but it was their downfall. Austin shut them down 6-0, but Falcons rallied back with a refreshing control win. Leister was even chirping after this match, trying to bring some energy to his squad.
And the kills they need onto this point. There are too many players here from the Falcons, though, and surely Cammy cannot hold it for long. He will not. Another respawn to the Falcons, and Clayson, the coach, is getting involved.
But Xnid struggled in Game 4, and Boston wasn't going to go down easy. The final 2 hills were pure chaos.
Purge, up close and personal, won't find it. You've got to pay attention to the front. You also need to recognize your lobby pressure. Xnid's trying to read it, unfortunately, at the wrong time. Aussities, what can you do? You've got the support. Do you read the player in behind? It's going to be Wake. Alec will turn him with the pistol and find it, but 15 seconds
away,
still.
But Boston are close up. They are stacking. They are every side, but Boston are finding the kills already on this first push. TJ finds one. Arseny is desperately trying to find another. It isn't going to happen. Boston now only 7 seconds away from taking it to a map 5. The Falcons are running, but will it be enough? I don't think so. 1 second, they're in. It's a contest, but it is not good enough.
And like I said, TJ couldn't get it going in the S&Ds, and he actually dropped a donut on the final map. He's probably going to be thinking about that the whole plane ride home. Boston Breach was a much stronger S&D team, and Snoopy scored a 2-piece in round 8 to crush Team Falcons Key at the Esports World Cup.
Waiting for the fight to come down again. Now you can see Falcons moving in. They're trying to take control of this side. This is going to be a wild push. In they go. Door's going to be banged. Everybody flying into the point here. Snoopy finds 2, and Xnid will get 1 back into it, but it's advantage Boston again. And it comes down to a 2 versus 3. The Falcons tried, the Falcons died, and that might be enough to wipe them out of this one as Purge puts one more bullet in after these same old story. A 1 versus 3 finds the first, but gets traded out, and the Falcons fall.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're just overchallenged. I told them after the series, I mean, good job, guys, but that was very sloppy. You know, we got to be better tomorrow.
Overheating or just not really in the position for the trades?
I think we're just overheating. I think we just got to buy our teammates some more time, and I think it'll pay off. So.
But the final match of the day was the best one yet. The rematch from yesterday, FaZe versus OMiT. Mamba vowed revenge on FaZe and said that they were the better team. And OMiT has looked incredible while FaZe looks almost unrecognizable. I'm not sure what happened to them these last few events, but these are some of the most well-respected names in Call of Duty. But OMiT had the confidence that they could take them down, and Mamba and Craze led the charge on Skyline Hardpoint, dropping 35 plus each.
How's the news? You one's a news.
Fire worked up. Yeah, I'm gonna go underground. Front her.
Yeah, watch your coastline fire.
Wait.
Watch your coastline fire.
Nice, they're showing. Nice. I'm going mid. These two are both playing probably. He's our close fire. Our close fire P1. Our close fire P1.
You weak, busy.
P1 draws. P1 dead.
In you weak.
Give me a second. Yeah, I'm going mid with you. I'm working the hallway. Bottom mid. You in time.
I heard you.
Watch your rugs. I'm gonna wait for the stone wrap.
Yeah. Push up.
I'm gonna
this old time.
They got a shell. Time we go. This could be the win. Abe's gonna save it here. A massive moment.
Wait, they're gonna flip. They're gonna flip.
And the win from a BC.
It's all good.
The spawns have flipped. FaZe.
They're gonna win every fight here. They're gonna win every fight.
They've got to get it towards time.
You gotta stay alive. Just put yourself in the corner.
They're gonna win every fight.
At least one gunfight.
They're gonna lose every fight. They're gonna lose every single fight. Vivid popped the toothpaste. The pigs didn't go through.
But FaZe wasn't gonna go down easy, and one half of the Tiny Terrors answered back in the S&D with a 13 kill performance.
And Vivid cannot afford to drop here, but Abizi's gonna get the timing on him, but at the same time, Craze takes care of Draza, too.
On planet A, is he gonna check this quick enough? He is. This is a 1v1. The bomb does not get planted either.
So Craze spot him on the exit, is able to get the info and the Eagle tell.
It gets scary whenever a BZ or Simp get going because it's really hard to stop them, and that's usually the case. But for some reason, today, it wasn't. The teamwork on the respawns for FaZe was almost non-existent, and they struggled to get anything going. Mac was going crazy.
Miraculous double, only able to take down one. The trophies are already down. It's a double stack. Can you get in if your FaZe clan? The pitch is good. He melts, lines up another 3. He can still close it out.
Oh, what a nade! Simp buys his teammates a few more seconds. Craze on the dive. Can he get to cover? He can!
And OMiT took the control from FaZe. Then they shocked them on the red card hardpoint, knocking them out of the tournament in group play.
And FaZe still hold.
Holding it together still. Crazy gunfights. Mac nearly gets brought down by an incredibly weakened BZ there, but this has been a great hardpoint from FaZe. Slowly, Vivid gets in. The next man gone. Time 60. Round. Simp opens the window for a moment, and we have Craze from above. What a win! The second man! Unbelievable! And it helps Vivid down, and more arrows of OMiT upon the hard point. Max staying alive. Here come FaZe once again. A desperation attempt. 5 seconds for the win, and Mackenzie melts alongside Vivid in time. The game is done. History made here at the Esports World Cup. OMiT have bested FaZe Clan.
I would have never saw this coming because FaZe are the defending champs from last year, so I expected them to at least make the playoffs. And Simp was heartbroken in his exit interview as their key got crushed.
At this stage of the
Please,
tournament,
Mac!
OMiT
Please, no!
Quarterfinals.
No!
Nick, no! Tom, you watch that key get crushed, brother. You watch that shit. Yo, Capsule's Oh no, not FaZe's. Oh, Jesus Christ.
This has opened the conversation for allowing an open bracket in the CDL. I mean, we've seen a couple Challengers players rise throughout the season, and now we're seeing Craze and Mamba make a statement at the Esports World Cup. Mac and Vivid are also proving why they deserve a spot back in the league, and it's a huge moment for this whole entire OMiT squad. They have a chance to make history this weekend, and I think the effects of this event will trickle down into next season. I would love to see more Pro-Am tournaments or just more opportunities in general for these guys, but that is officially the end of group play, and it ended in the most unexpected unexpected way. Here are the results from every match today, and also here's a look at the daily MVP. I thought it was going to be somebody from OMiT, but it ended up being Cammy. We'll see if Treyarch Cammy can keep it going, but here's a look at the matches for tomorrow. I mean, look at this quarterfinals bracket. If you lose, you go home, and now everything is on the line. Day 2 delivered everything we could have asked for and more, with upsets that completely reshuffled the tournament bracket and new challengers players proving they belong on the biggest stage. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely insane after what we witnessed today, and these storylines are just getting started. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out my recap of the first day at the Esports World Cup. I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.